Emily tightened her scarf against the bitter night wind as she walked down the nearly empty street. The city had quieted, most shops dark, save for the dull neon of a convenience store buzzing at the corner. Her shift had run late, and all she wanted was to get home, kick off her shoes, and breathe. Then, out of nowhere, a rough hand caught her arm. Her breath caught in her throat as she turned, fear flashing in her chest. A man, disheveled, eyes darting in panic, leaned close and whispered urgently, "Please, pretend you're my wife." Her instinct screamed to run. But then she saw it, 2 men across the street, shadowing him, watching intently. His grip wasn't forceful, it was desperate. His hand trembled. His eyes weren't threatening, they were pleading. Emily swallowed hard, her heart pounding. She didn't know this man. He could be dangerous, or he could be in danger. Against every instinct for self-preservation, she made a choice. She forced a small smile, tugged his arm gently, and said loud enough for the others to hear, "There you are. I've been waiting." The change was immediate. His shoulders relaxed slightly, and the men across the street slowed, exchanging uncertain glances. Emily slipped her hand into his, steadying her voice. "Let's go home." They walked together, her pulse racing as the men finally turned away, disappearing down another street. For a long moment neither spoke. Emily considered pulling away, demanding answers. But something about his silence, the way his chest rose and fell like he'd been holding his breath for hours, made her wait. Finally, he whispered, "Thank you?" His voice cracked. "They weren't strangers. I used to know them, and I couldn't let them drag me back into that life." Emily studied him under the streetlight. His face was worn, maybe late 30s, shadows of exhaustion etched around his eyes. But his gratitude was raw, unpolished, real. "You don't owe me anything," she said softly. "Just get home safe." He gave a small, almost disbelieving nod. "You didn't even ask if I was lying." She met his gaze, steady this time. "Sometimes you just know." They stopped at the corner where their paths split. For a moment they stood there, strangers tied together by an act that felt far bigger than either of them. He gave her one last look, something between a promise and a prayer, and walked into the night. Emily stood for a moment longer, her heart still unsteady, her mind replaying the choice she'd made. Then she turned toward home, the wind biting a little less sharply, her steps somehow lighter than before.